Hi everyone, happy late hump day, Wednesday night. This week, as promised, week 13 of college football. The picks are going to be out. I'm going to do a similar layout and plan for the picks as I did for week 1, the first official weekend of the 2019 season. I'm just going to predict from what I saw on the TV because that's one of the best ways to do it because they pretty much headline every big game, and this is the way to do it over writing stuff down on pencil and that this late at night. So I think I'm gonna do it this way, and this is a really fun way to do it, just because you can see the actual matchups and see how good they could be. And and I like to see that just because YouTube and all these TV productions, they just have a lot of cool type of channels. And well, let's get to our picks. Week 13, he's starting on the college pick'em. I'm at SG1 Sports' college pick'em. I had almost every game right last week, but Iowa ended up beating Penn State. That was the only one I had wrong. So how impressive is that? Give me some marks down and comments down below once you hear that, folks. That was a good week for picks for me. So let's see. This is what he has. He's in the confidence pool, same one I'm in. So Penn State and Ohio State. I previewed this one earlier this afternoon, but I really think it comes down to Penn State's defense to stay in it, and it's going to be really tough for them to keep it going at the shoe. So we'll take the Buckeyes definitely by 10 points confidence. But going at Nittany Lions, Michigan also needs them to win because if Ohio State has 2 losses, including Michigan, they could easily get to the Rose Bowl, and the Big Ten champion has to be Penn State as well, because if Minnesota wins the Big Ten championship and or Wisconsin, they would get the bid to the Rose Bowl. So we would have to root for the one-loss team that's in the Big Ten championship to even win the Big Ten championship. Otherwise, we are out of the Rose Bowl hopes, and it'll probably be the Cotton Bowl or the Holiday Bowl for the Wolverines. So now Minnesota and Northwestern. I'm not even gonna really explain this much. Northwestern's just terrible. They just keep getting either shut out or blown out really bad. No matter if they're in Ryan Field or not, they're just really not that good. So we'll take the Gophers and narrowing this down to the college pick'em. So, and then NBC Sports Network, actually, regular NBC does not have this game for some odd reason. It's Notre Dame and Boston College. And this one's not going to be close either. I don't see Boston College hanging in there very much, but they're hoping to keep their bowl hopes alive. So we'll see if they actually play for something, but Notre Dame will easily win that one. And then 2:30 on ESPN, my Michigan Wolverines will battle the really tough Indiana Hoosiers. Underrated squad. Their quarterback was out with a torn ACL 3 weeks ago. But I think it's gonna be tough for them to face Shea Patterson, Michigan and company, for the way they've been playing right now. So Glow Blue, I'll take Michigan to win this one in a very, very close battle, because we had a close battle with Indiana at the Big House 3-4 years ago. And then a few years ago, it came down to 2 overtimes where Michigan prevailed and won that game, and that was in Bloomington. So that was also really tough that day too, especially when they're on the road against them. So keep that in mind, that Indiana's just really tough when they play Michigan. They're definitely ready for a dogfight when they're to the point of playing teams like them. Next at 2:30 Central Time on Fox Sports 1, it's Texas and Baylor. Texas is back in the 25 now, Sam Ehlinger and company. And then Baylor's 13th, so they only moved down 1 ranking just because it was so close. As mentioned in the other video, it was just so close that they blew a 25-point lead. But you can't really do much when Jalen Hurts got really hot at the end of that game. So, but I think Baylor will prevail. They'll definitely fight off their tough one last Saturday night in the primetime ABC game, and they'll get a good win. Not an easy one, but they'll get enough for a good win at home to keep their New Year's Six bowl hopes alive. And then see the SEC on CBS game. It actually is a top 25 matchup. I didn't realize Texas Tech was ranked, even from my video I posted last night. I didn't realize they were ranked, but they'll be playing at Sanford Stadium, Georgia. But Georgia will easily win that one. I see them easily winning that, and I think they'll get their 10th win of the year to keep their playoff hopes alive, and they definitely clinched the SEC East because Florida's definitely out of it because they lost to Georgia and LSU. So yep, they'll continue and they'll be at double digits, 10-1. And then 7 o'clock, have Temple and Cincinnati. This was one of them that could have been the Saturday night game, but Temple is no longer ranked. They were earlier in the year. They were on the 23-25 zone, but now they're 7-3. And Cincinnati's tough at home, and they're 9-1. So we'll go with Cincinnati to keep their hopes alive for a really big bowl game this year. If they win their conference championship, win Saturday, that would stand out well for them too. And then the Saturday night game, it's one of my least favorite of the year. But if Arizona State keeps it really close, they have ultimately a big chance to beat Oregon. But for that game between Oregon and Arizona State, I will easily take Oregon. But go Sun Devils because I like seeing upsets. And that Michigan played Utah in the Rose Bowl, I think I could see them beating them more than Justin Herbert and company because Herbert's definitely a stud, and he's really tough in really big games. And they almost won against Auburn, but yeah, that was just a good game overall to start the first weekend of college football. So we'll see if Oregon has a tough time again, even though it's not neutral site, it's on the road, it's a Pac-12 conference opponent, and it comes down to that. So now the other games he's kind of headlining on here, they're not in the college pick'em, so 11 a.m. Western Carolina and Alabama. This is too obvious. Alabama will definitely get at double digits. Tua's out for the year. Thoughts and prayers to him to continue to have a recovery before he goes pro next year, wherever he goes. So they'll win that one easily. Minnesota and Northwestern. Minnesota will, like I said, actually that's a part of the college pick'em game, but I said Minnesota will definitely easily be prevailed. Illinois at Iowa. I think Iowa's going to win another good one at Kinnick Stadium, but don't be surprised if Illinois hangs with them because they beat Wisconsin at home, and then they came back from 35-7 down at Michigan State, and they upset them at East Lansing. So keep an eye on that for being a really close Big Ten matchup that morning, but Iowa will win. Oklahoma State is favored by 7.5 against West Virginia. We'll take Oklahoma State there, but that's also going to be tough for them because West Virginia is hoping to keep their bowl hopes alive because they're at 4 wins. Appalachian State and Texas State. Appalachian State will make double digits, and they'll end up improving to 10-1. And then a lot of these games we already went over earlier. Another good one, SMU and Navy. I think Navy still can be in definitely a decent bowl game, and I think they'll beat SMU, but this will actually be a very underrated non-Power 5 school type of game, so this will be a fun one too, actually. 3 o'clock, Wisconsin plays Purdue. That'll be at Camp Randall. I think that's going to be close because Purdue always seems to play Wisconsin really tough, but Wisconsin should win the game to keep their Big Ten championship hopes alive, and if they do, and Minnesota beats Northwestern, they will meet next weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, for a spot in the Big Ten championship. Depending on who wins the Big Ten West, it will come down to that. That would be a fun matchup, and if Minnesota could somehow make that a night game, like I said in one of my last videos, that would be definitely phenomenal. And if they really did that, and the Big Ten deserves more credit from ESPN over Fox games, safe to say that. Anyways, Memphis and South Florida. Memphis will win that one. 6 o'clock, LSU will host Arkansas. That's going to be a blowout. LSU will win, and they'll continue their undefeated stretch. So we went over Temple and Cincinnati as well. TCU and Oklahoma. This is going to be interesting because Oklahoma's had a couple of close games in Stillwater. And I think they'll win, but it still will be close. And TCU likes to play teams close and for Gary Patterson's squad, so We'll see if they get to yet another bowl game in his legendary career there. And then 9 o'clock is on Fox Sports 1. Utah, number 7, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive and conference championship hopes. They'll play Arizona, who is also fighting for their bowl hopes. Arizona has to win out, including upsetting Utah, and Utah's favored by 23.5. But I do not see Utah losing, so we'll take them in this one. Then 9:30, the last pretty much primary game of the day to this West Coast. Boise State and Utah State. Utah State is bowl eligible. They're 6-4, and then they're 5-1 in the Mountain West, and 9-1 Boise State, and they're 6-0 in conference play. I don't see that changing. I think Boise State wins, but don't be surprised if it's going to be a close game. Jordan Love's a really good quarterback for Utah State, and Utah State's at home, so I think they will be the Cinderella of the weekend if they upset Boise State. Hear that first from me, but I think it's really true if Utah State could get that one done. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and see you all next time on the M Sports Hub YouTube channel.